Hey there, pirates! Welcome aboard the Anime No Mi channel. Luffy and Katakuri teaming up? Yeah, not only is that possible, it's going to happen. And it's all to face a common enemy, Blackbeard. That battle is right around the corner. Let's go. It all starts with the news of Pudding's kidnapping. It's not fresh anymore, but now it carries more weight. Anyone following the world of One Piece already knows Blackbeard's crew has been on the move, hitting high-profile targets. But taking Pudding wasn't just another pirate mission, it was a direct hit on the Charlotte family. And that strikes a nerve in Katakuri he didn't even realize was still there. Because no matter how tough and silent he acts, the bond he has with his siblings is real. That moment with Brûlé, when he reveals his face, already shows he cares. So when he finds out Pudding's been captured, and things look bad, like she might even be used to decode the poneglyphs, his blood starts to boil. Now here's where we add another piece to the puzzle. Aokiji. He's not just some laid-back ex-admiral chilling after leaving the Marines. He got involved with Teach, he's working with him, and now he's neck-deep in all these schemes that threaten not only the world's balance, but people Luffy and Katakuri both care deeply about. If you remember from chapter 1080 onward, Kobe getting captured, Garp going to Hachinosu, and ending up left behind in a brutal fight, and then Aokiji showing up as the final wall against a Marine hero, it all starts to make more sense. Luffy, being who he is, would never let what happened to Garp slide. He's not the type to drop everything and run from Elbaf to save his grandpa out of nowhere, but he'll carry that with him. What he doesn't know yet is that someone on the other side of the sea is feeling that same pain, that same sense of family under threat. And maybe for the first time in a long while, that someone doesn't see Luffy as an enemy, but as a potential ally. Katakuri's the type of guy who only acts out of respect or duty, and he respects Luffy. Their mirror world fight wasn't just a flashy brawl, it was an exchange of values. Katakuri saw that Luffy that isn't just some random pirate. He's someone who fights for those he loves, even if it means bleeding out. That left a mark. Now, if we put all this on the same board, we can totally imagine Katakuri making moves on his own. Maybe Big Mom's no longer calling the shots in the new world. Maybe the Charlotte siblings are scattered, and Katakuri steps up, taking on a more strategic role. He goes after Pudding, and when he finds out it was none other than Kuzan, Aokiji, who kidnapped her, it hits hard. Not because of something personal with Aokiji, but because he's become part of a system that destroys families. At that point, I think Katakuri would make a choice that puts him on a direct collision course with Aokiji. Maybe not right away, maybe he tries to understand why the ex-admiral's doing this. But once he sees Kuzan has no plans of leaving Blackbeard's crew, and worse, that he's helping keep them powerful, then it's on. Katakuri attacks. And we're not talking about just any attack. We're talking about a Haki of the King level mochi user who can see the future and is now running on pure emotion. As for Aokiji, he's calm, sure, but he's also sharp. The guy fought a Akainu for 10 straight days in an ice field. He doesn't run. He'll face Katakuri, maybe even try to talk first, but once the Haki starts flying, the talking stops. That's where Luffy might step in. Imagine him walking into all of this, seeing Katakuri going head-to-head with someone he hasn't fully figured out yet. Luffy first saw Aokiji back in Long Ring Long Land, chapter 319, as an untouchable force of nature. Then he heard about him again at Punk Hazard, how he left it all behind. But now he's with Blackbeard? That's a game changer. I don't think Luffy would instantly pick a side in that fight. He'd watch. Because he's not dumb, he'd see Katakuri's got a solid reason to be angry, but maybe Aokiji has his reasons too. Then comes that classic One Piece moment where Luffy just yells something like, "Stop fighting! If you really want to fight, fight me instead." But Katakuri wouldn't stop. He already made up his mind. And Aokiji knows there's no turning back. At this point, Luffy might realize he really does need new allies. Because it's not just about rescuing Pudding, not just about Garp, it's about Blackbeard turning into the guy who's hurting everyone Luffy cares about. Ace was taken by that crew. Garp was left behind because of them. And now Pudding's caught up in it too. It's personal now. So seeing Katakuri standing beside him, even if the situation's messy, could light a spark. And if that spark turns into a flame, maybe, just maybe, we'll see Luffy reach out and say something like, "You can come with us. We're gonna take that crew down and free everyone they've locked up," because that's what Luffy does. And Katakuri, despite the stoicism, despite the mochi-covered face and the cold demeanor, might just accept, not out of pride, but for Pudding. Katakuri moving alongside Luffy would be something nobody saw coming. But if there's one thing One Piece keeps proving, it's that the world changes, time keeps moving, and alliances are formed in the wildest ways. So think about it. Pudding, the sister he always protected, was taken by Blackbeard. Garp was hurt in the same chaos. That instantly makes it Luffy's problem. And if there's one thing Luffy doesn't do, it's abandon his people. So maybe, just maybe, Luffy and Katakuri meet again. not as rivals, but as allies. Imagine Luffy, still remembering that punch he took to the gut, thinking back on how Katakuri really fought with honor, and now realizing that same guy is pissed because someone messed with his family. Pudding being taken by Teach changes everything. And what makes it even crazier is that Aokiji, the guy everyone used to trust, the same one who once froze Robin and later went rogue, is now working with the man who laughed in Ace's face while he was down. That alone is enough to make Luffy start holding a serious grudge. But if Katakuri feels the same way, things are really gonna heat up. I think Katakuri would start moving not just because of Pudding, but because he knows this is the moment. Big Mom's done, Tato Land is in chaos, and even with all his pride, Katakuri has a sense of responsibility. Maybe he doesn't trust his mother anymore, or his old crew, and maybe, just maybe, he doesn't see Luffy as an enemy anymore, but as someone who protects his own, no matter what. That could be the spark that makes him finally break whatever loyalty code he had left and go all in on a new mission. Rescue Pudding and take down Blackbeard for good. And then there's Aokiji, the same Aokiji who once saved Robin, the same one who lost to Akainu and decided to live by his own rules. But now, he's teamed up with Blackbeard. Nobody really knows why, but Katakuri doesn't care. To him, the ice trapping his sister is a threat, no matter who's behind it. And Aokiji is the right-hand man of the guy who started all this. Now picture this. Luffy and Katakuri arrive at one of Blackbeard's hideouts. Aokiji's there, standing still, calm as ever, with that look like, "Don't make me do this!" But Katakuri doesn't even hesitate. The ground starts cracking beneath him. He's already seen the future. This is the moment. The mochi starts to boil. Katakuri knows that ice guy standing in front of him might be one of Blackbeard's pillars, and he's not holding back. I think the fight between them would be beautiful, because while the ice tries to stop the mochi, Katakuri's emotional heat starts messing with the predictability. The Katakuri who fought Luffy before was cold, calculated, always seeing the future. But now, he's fighting from the heart. And maybe that's exactly what breaks the logic of observation hockey. Aokiji can freeze oceans, sure, but how do you freeze a brother's fury? One who's trying to save his sister, and another who's burning for revenge over his fallen brother? But hey, let me know what you think about this possibility. That was today's content. We hope you liked it and want to share your opinion on the subject. Don't forget to share the video, give it a thumbs up, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care and stay amazing.